Hi, Harvey. Thanks for talking to
Hi,
me today. I appreciate it.
of
I
course.
really enjoyed the series. So how familiar were you with the books before getting the role?
I was aware of the books. I was had definitely seen the movie, but I hadn't read the books. Just it was perfect timing too, because when I got the role, I read the books afterwards, and I was like, okay, this is totally okay, great. I'm glad I didn't. I try not to do that with any of the projects that I do, just so I'm not persuaded to doing what was written and just like you have to do it. That's the character perfect that way, because then you don't bring yourself into the character. You got to find a little bit of yourself. And I did the same thing with Magicians. I didn't read the books until after. And what we do in the shadows, I didn't watch the movie until after. So it seems like it's working out for me not to
Yeah,
be.
hey, whatever works. Um, you say you bring parts of yourself, and that was the next thing I was going to ask. Is other than the script, kind of where were you inspired for this character? So if you brought parts of yourself, what do you feel parts of yourself you brought to it then?
Well, with Jasper, I feel that he's a mama's boy. He's very like, wanting to stay home and whatnot. And I related with that with like growing up, I was just like me and my mom for a while, and she was a single parent. So it really kind of touched me, and I relate to him in that way. But also liking the idea of stability, but also not too much craziness. But those are the two things that I love about Guillermo, is that he wants adventure, and I can relate to that. And I want excitement and adventure, but I also want stability. But I want to, but I can't. But I want to, the back and forth kind of Jekyll and Hyde. So I think that for Jasper, it was just nice to like a simple life and wanting that quietness that is just nice once in a while, just a peace and quiet. So I remember really liking that.
Okay. Did you do any research or anything into like, I don't know, medical examiner or anything like that
I did.
before
I did some
starting?
research on my own. It was a quick turnaround from when I was working on season 3 of Shadows, and we wrapped. They actually started production of Reacher while we were still shooting Shadows, and the showrunner called me and said, I want you to do this role. And I was like, oh man, I was gonna go home to visit my family. He's like, no one else can do this role. It has to be you because he's Latinx. He has to have a Southern accent. I know you can do accents, and it's just like, okay. And then he talked about the character and then the story, and then when he's talking about the story and the whole overall trajectory of the series for the season, I was like, wow, okay, I'm in. So it actually was nice to be asked and to be part of that. So just doing that and going from there to another season 4 of Shadows was just like a full ride of 2021.
Oh, hey, it's good to be busy, especially now with COVID, right?
Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah.
So, you talked about that, but is there any part of him that maybe you did have a difficulty connecting with when you became him?
Yeah, because a little bit of Jasper is he's so submissive and quiet, and kind of sometimes at times a bit of a pushover, where I don't relate to that. I kind of talk a lot and I'm kind of speak
You
my
talk
mind.
fast, like me. I noticed.
Yeah, I talk really fast, and Jasper's really slow, and he takes his time and he articulate, and so it's just nice to take it slow, take it, with Jasper. But in the back of my head and my psyche, I was like, talk faster because you're trying to get the message out. But that's just because it's me, and a part of me that just talks a mile a minute.
No, no, I totally get that. So do you have a favorite scene or something that you can tease a little bit about your character?
There is a favorite scene that I have. It's when we have a body that's been pinned to the wall, and this body looks so real that when I got
Yeah.
to set, I think I actually gasped out loud because no one prepared me. Like I walked to say, okay, let's go to rehearsal, and we're walking to set. I'm like, all right. I'm like, oh wow, there's so much blood over there. And just like seeing this body pinned to the wall, and I mean, it was just insane. And I had to do a scene with it, and I was like, even throughout the day we were working in this room for about 8 hours, and even by the eighth hour I was still like, are you sure it's not real? Because it looks so scary. But it was great to work with such experts at like special effects and blood and bodies and like all of that. It was just great. I mean, I work with blood all the time on Shadows, but this was like a different level.
Does it gross you out though, or you're more just like kind of amazed by
It does gross
the
me out. It's
science?
so funny because everyone in my family and my everyone's squeamish about blood. And it's just the idea that that's the shows that I work on. It's just like dead bodies, blood everywhere, guts galore, so it's funny because I am still, even though I know it's like corn syrup and whatnot, it still makes me like
All right. Did you learn anything about yourself working on this show, either as an actor or just as a person?
Yeah, I learned that medical examiners have a lot of medical jargon that they have to say. And some of the stuff I was like, what is this? And I had to go research what some of the wording was. And because it was just like, oh, that means when they, okay. And then they, so it was like a learning experience. I think I'm a certified, a medical examiner now. So thank you.
Okay.
Graduation's next week. I would love for you to attend.
Okay, good. I will be there. So who in the cast would you like to get to work with more that you maybe didn't get a lot of time with?
Oh man, that's a tough one because they're all great. I mean, Willa and I had such great scenes, and maybe a buddy comedy with Willa. That'd be fun. We could do a film together or something. Like it's like we're going on a road trip or something. Just like I'm the crazy cousin, and she has the duty of making me get from the East Coast to the West Coast. It sells itself. I'm just saying, Amazon. I mean, you have a film right here, right now.
All right. You made me wonder though, what kind of role would be like your dream role? If you could just pick anything or write anything or whatever.
Well, I like to put on different hats and kind of force myself out of my comfort zone. So I would love to do something completely different that I haven't done. So maybe something like a superhero, have like a plus size Latinx superhero. You never know, something fun and different, or something completely different than that, like a serial killer. Like playing like I don't know, Gacy or something, just something completely different. I like to put on a different hat and push myself to a different category.
Okay. You ever interested in doing more behind the scenes or just?
Yeah, I love producing, and I do write with a writing partner, and we're producing stuff now. Maybe directing, a little directing in the future. So who knows? The world's a big bubble of possibilities.
Yeah. That was the other thing I can say. Do you have any other projects right now that are coming out soon that you want to plug?
Well, I have something coming out later this year. It's more animated, and I will give you hints that maybe it's with a couple of felines, and
Okay.
perhaps one of them wears boots,
Oh, okay.
and that's it.
That sounds like a lot of fun. All right. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And I really enjoyed the series. I'm hoping that it gets a season two. I want to see
Yeah.
more.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you so much.